It's an age-old struggle, parents deciding what to name their babies on the way.
The 12 News mom-to-be, Portia Young, looks into why naming a baby causes parents so much angst. New at 10.
The reality of a new baby seems to settle in when that baby has a name.
This is Alexander, and he is 3 days old.
For the Lewandowskis, choosing Alexander for their second boy was a lot easier than their first.
We looked at those baby books of like 1,001 baby names, and it was really hard. We had like a list of about 15, and then we narrowed it down to 10, and then it took us weeks.
So why is it so hard? It's just a name.
It has to do with traditions and connections within the family.
Marquette English professor Tim Mahan says those family ties and societal pressure are what causes the stress. Jessica Lewandowski didn't want her sons to be teased.
So you don't want it to be something crazy and hard to pronounce, or you don't see CEOs with the name Cheerio or something.
Professor Mahan says Jessica's thinking is common.
Names are around for as long as we have recorded language and history. In the case of English, somewhere around maybe the 11th century, something like a last name starts to come in, whereas you say you're named Bill the Miller as opposed to Bill the Smith.
So when names began, what your ancestors did determined your name. Now there's a shift with parents subconsciously thinking what they name a child is what they will become.
Whether or not the name determines who you are, I'm not so sure. If you name someone Bob, will he be the salt of the earth? Maybe, maybe not. If you name a little girl Rainbow, I think you're putting her at the plate with one strike against her to begin with.
Mahan points to studies showing links between names and job hiring or names and school applications. And it's not just odd names, it's odd spellings.
Good morning, Eero.
Mother and Catholic East K-4 teacher Carrie Rathke agrees with Mahan somewhat, but believes character ultimately trumps name. That's her teacher side talking. As a parent, she admits she too had those dreams attached to the names of her 3 boys.
It was very hard. There were quite a few names that my husband and I went through, and I said, no, we can't do that one. No, we can't do that one. Bad experience.
In her classroom right now is a mix of trendy and traditional, from Eero to Ryan to Sky and Jacob.
There's another Jacob at my daycare. S-O-L-O-M-O-N.
What should I name my baby?
Lulu.
Lulu.
I don't know if it's a boy or a girl, but I'm following what's happening in Rathke's classroom. More traditional for a boy and more lyrical for a girl. Celeb parents don't have to worry about weird because they have the means to give their babies a leg up, hence Beyonce's Blue Ivy. Mahan says the screen age has made pop culture a stronger influence on naming than relatives and even the Bible. We turn to babycenter.com for the top names of 2011, and for boys after 7 years, Aiden is still supreme.
Aiden.
Followed by Jackson and Mason, which happens to be the name of Kourtney Kardashian's son. Sophia, Emma, and Isabella were the top 3 for girls. Had little Alexander been a girl, the Lewandowskis concede they would have been stumped.
He is. He's my precious Valentine. Favorite Valentine's Day present ever.
Now they're stumped, figuring out how to manage 2 under 2. In Milwaukee, Portia Young, WISN 12 News.